applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take a few to lose. Built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
Turn me up, 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 up. Welcome to Dave's Doghouse, everybody. As you can see, I have my brother here again with me. You know, we had a great show the last time, so I asked him to come back again for another night. We were talking in the studio. We might disagree on one of these things, so y'all might actually have a debate between me and my brother.
Some fire.
It's definitely gonna be some fire. So make sure that you are in that comment section. Be heavy in the comment section. I want to see as much comments as possible. I know the last time y'all were definitely on fire. I'm excited about everything I'm gonna be talking about tonight. We got to talk about the doghouse. You know, who are some of the new people or new teams or new faces that are gonna be in the doghouse. Then think about the dogs of the week. Who are gonna be the dogs? Who outperform or did something really good? And then me and my brother both have honorable mentions. So let's make sure we pay attention to those things. And make sure you like this video, share this with somebody. I am live right now on X, YouTube, and Facebook. So make sure that you if you're on either one, that you like it, you retweet it, or share it. Subscribe. I have 50. I'm up to 50 subscribers now, so definitely excited about that. That's really good. And then I have some really exciting news that I just found out just a couple of minutes ago. My video that I did with Don Staley got over 1,000 views right now, so definitely excited about that. So yeah, definitely happy about everything. I'll be creating more reels and more shorts for my videos starting tonight. So you will see more content coming up. As I said, this show it's once a week. So definitely gonna do this. I'm actually gonna start doing something else new. I'll talk to my guys about it tomorrow. After the normal R2L show. At 9 a.m. So make sure you tune into the R2L show tomorrow at 9 a.m. Let's go ahead and get started. And shout out to my man Blaze. He was here last time. On the show. So appreciate you, Blaze, for supporting the show, my guy. And my guy Teddy. Teddy had one of the best interviews that he did last night. He talked to a former baseball player who was also on the MLB network. So make sure you tune in to BWT. You go watch that episode. Teddy, awesome job, my guy. And then all the other shows have been on fire. In the Red Corner, the hottest show in the R2L network, other than the regular R2L show. I'm right behind it. But all I'm saying is that those guys know they talk about boxing. They do have a lot of really good content. I believe they went live today. If not today, then they did go live maybe a day or two ago. They went live on Sunday as well. Joe was on the episode, a really good show. My brother was in the comment section because he loves boxing, so he definitely had to make sure he was there attending it. Shout out to RBO, FFC. FFC returns tomorrow. FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs returns tomorrow, so make sure you tune into that. Shout out to Carl. He does CTC, so Carl Talking College, RBO, Kings Talk. Man, these shows are definitely growing, definitely growing. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the doghouse. Hey, wifey. Hey, baby, how you doing? That's your, you know who that is, Tony. Well, you know now. Yes,
I have no clue who that is. I don't know.
wow, it's your sister-in-law,
The
future
name
sister.
remains. The name would not be spoken. No, I'm joking.
um, hey, Blaze, I'm just telling you, man, it's gonna be a fire show. I appreciate you for coming on, my man. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the
Mm-mm-mm.
previous doghouse. Now I know some people might be, hey man, it's the NFL offseason. Some of these people should be gone now. They will be. Next week, I will have another session where I'm talking about all the people that will no longer be in the doghouse.
Sean Payton, stay there.
Yeah, Sean Payton ain't going nowhere. So definitely excited about these what I'm going to talk about next, as far as the new doghouse members. So it's going to get heated already because we start off with the one that I was talking about. A lot of you pay attention to football and know exactly who um who are some of the players that play for this team. And I'm not even putting, it's not the team that I'm putting in the doghouse, although I believe they should more than likely. Um, this player used to play for the New York Giants. He is a former running back. He's a twin in the NFL. His brother was Rondé Barber, played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl champion. And his brother has some choice words about a now former Giants running back, Saquon Barkley, now going to the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. It is none other than Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber basically said that Saquon Barkley is now dead to New York. Tiki Barber, you do know that the New York Giants didn't give him an offer, correct? You do know the New York Giants could have gave him a contract last year, correct? You do know he's the reason why the Giants were even good and went to the playoffs last year. Some of those games that you know, Daniel Jones' record is terrible without him. With him, it's a whole lot better. And you chose to give Daniel Jones a $45 million year contract, but you didn't pay your running back, the best player on your team. Tiki Barber, you may speak for all Giants fans, but I still think your choice words were terrible. And you, Tiki Barber, have had a history of doing this to New York Giants. You did this to Eli Manning. After you did that, he went and won a Super Bowl. Of course, he stayed with the New York Giants, but he won a Super Bowl. 2, actually. Saquon Barkley never had any other talent around his team. I think the best receiver that was on his team was Kadarius Toney. And what is he really doing right now? He's not with the Chiefs as far as I know. Then you have Darren Waller, who's on your team, and all he's focused on is rap albums right now. So I wouldn't say that, that's really good. Offensive line is almost always hurt. I've never known a team that always draft offensive linemen in the first round and they always get hurt. So I'm not
The other New York team.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. The Jets. But also, I mean, the defense has always been kind of sort of good. They got Kevon Thibodeau, and then they just got another player from the Giants this year. So they got Brian Burns for a $150 million contract, I believe. Defense is good. But where's the offense? Where's the other weapon? You got Jalen Hyatt, but you don't have a quarterback to give him the ball. You got Daniel Jones, but we know he ain't much of anything. Tommy DeVito came in and played better than he did. Then you had was Tyrod Taylor come in and play a little bit better than he did. So Tiki Barber, that's why I'm putting you in the doghouse. Tony, you said you had an issue with this. What's your issue?
So my thing is this right here, right? So who is the rivalry? Who's the rival for the 49ers?
The Cowboys.
Right? This would be like Steve Young leaving and going to the Cowboys.
Can I interject?
This will be like when Drew Bledsoe went to Buffalo. Although we kind of traded him there, but it's the same thing like that, right? So
we traded Trey Lance to the Cowboys.
Yeah, but your rivalry inside the division is really Seattle. But
yeah,
I would say that the issue I have with this is that he should have said he said what every Giant fan that I've spoken to, all of them said the same thing. Right? They've all said the same thing. It's a slap in the face. Now, granted, I will say that the Giants were in they were in a lose-lose situation, so to speak. Right? Now, you can get another running back, but can you get another quarterback? It is what they went with. Right? Can we get another running back? Now, can you get another running back like Saquon? No, you're not. Right? But can you get another running back? Yeah, you can get another running back. I mean, look at Green Bay and Cincinnati and all these other people just getting rid of their running backs. Shoot, Green Bay got rid of both theirs, right? AJ Dillon and Aaron is gone, right? So
that's true.
And replacing them with Josh, right? So my thing is did it get heated with what he said? Yeah, it got real heated. But this was the equivalent of Tom Brady playing for the Jets for me. Tom Brady could have left the Patriots and went to any team in the NFL. There's 30 other teams he could have gone to. And I wouldn't have been mad. If he went to the Jets, Tom Brady was dead to me.
Well, then you would have been in the doghouse too. Because look, you got to look at it this way. It's not his fault that he's not it wasn't Tom Brady's fault that he was no longer with the Patriots.
I'm not saying it was Saquon's fault that he's not with the Giants.
Then that's my
saying it either.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's the Giants' fault. Dude. If they wanted to keep him, they would have did everything right last year and gave him the contract and not giving it to Daniel Jones. I'm not going to give Tiki Barber and the Giants fans a pass because he went to the Eagles. Okay, I get it. Yeah, he went to a rival, but they gave him the best offer. No one else was giving him an offer like that. So why not?
He didn't even get that great of an offer.
It was better than what the Giants offered him, which
maybe,
was nothing.
But he could have got. Yeah, but he could have probably got. He probably could have got more money going somewhere else. Like he did that. He did that to be spiteful.
Houston, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, he would have got more money now.
Yeah, but they would have got more money. He would definitely got more. They would have got more money. He got more money in Houston. It's just the fact that there is
right there.
There is some things that you would think of, right? And it's the same model for us. Once a Giant, always a Giant. Unless you go to Philly.
Oh well, look,
and it's the same thing for us.
Carl's
once a Patriot, always a Patriot.
Carl's right there with me. I thank you.
No. So here's my thing.
He made it personal, and the Giants slapped him in the face twice.
Here's what I'm saying. All right. Here's what I'm saying. I don't disagree with you guys saying that that the Giants didn't disrespect him in the manner of not giving him the contract that he deserved. I'm not saying that. By all means, I agree with you guys. But you guys also got to look at the passion of fans. And Tiki basically just spoke for the fans. That's all he really did. He spoke for the fans. Now, he came on I can't remember who it was, whose radio show it was that he went on. what's his name, man? I can't think of his name. He the former ESPN host. I can't think of his name, but he has a radio show and he does mostly radio now. But he came on there and he explained what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? He explained himself, and it was and that's one of the reasons why I respect what had happened. Right? He was passionate. He said, "Look, I'm a fan first, and on the second, and I said what I said." Now, mind you, I will tell you that Tiki actually warned him earlier. He warned him days earlier before this even happened. That he said this days earlier. This had nothing to do with when he went there.
That don't make it right.
He said it days earlier, so it wasn't like the warning. The warning wasn't there, right? I don't know why everybody was surprised when he said it after it happened. He had said it already.
He said that no matter where he signed, that he was going to be dead in New York.
No, that's not what he said. He said that the only team that he couldn't go to. He even said on there he didn't care if he went to the Commanders.
Man, look,
they're in the same division.
It don't matter to me.
It's just that rivalry. It's the same thing like when it's the same thing. It's the same thing like when it was the same thing like when
Jerry Rice played for Seattle. We didn't say he was dead.
That was a little different with the old.
How? That's a rival. You said that's our rival, right? You said it's our division rival. Jerry Rice is known for being a 49er.
Yeah, you got a 42-year-old
He
man.
represents us more than anybody. Jerry is there.
Joe Montana represents you guys more than anybody, but
just because he got 4 rings doesn't mean he represents us more than anybody. Jerry Rice is who represents the 49ers most of the time. He is the greatest 49er in NFL history. What most people say. Yes, Joe got the 4 rings, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the Super Bowl. Yes, but Jerry Rice is Mr. 49er. He's there all the time. Every single game he represents.
Would you say that Joe Montana made Jerry Rice's career, and then Jerry Rice sustained Montana's career? Would you say that?
Maybe. But if you say that, look at what he did when he left San Francisco. He was still very good. Jerry Rice. When he went to Oakland, he was the number 1 receiver and balled out.
So was Joe Montana when he went to Kansas City.
I didn't say Montana was bad. You said that Montana made his career. I could easily say that no, he didn't. They complemented each other's careers. That's what I can say.
That's what I just said. You didn't hear what I said.
You said he made his career.
I say he did. You will not say that Joe Montana made Jerry Rice's career, but in turn, Jerry Rice then eventually sustained Montana's career, meaning he leapfrogged him in a sense.
So you're saying that Jerry leapfrogged Montana?
At some point in time, I think he did. Right, I think he did because he became a student of the game. His work ethic was impeccable for any receiver as you ever think of.
Wide receiver in history.
Yeah, so you would think of it in that sense. But anyway, let's talk about Tiki. Tiki, I get why most people want to put him in the doghouse. I get it. I'm not saying that there is that there isn't a reason for people to be upset by what he said. However, there's also understanding by what he said, right? You understand why he said what he said. He said what he said because he spoke for Giants fans.
I would understand
the same thing.
I would understand it.
One, and I know a bunch of them. I haven't spoken to one because I asked questions after you went and put this right here up, and you gave me the list of where it was going and something like that. I mean, I was sitting at work doing absolutely nothing, but putting out rejection letters at work for people that was trying to get apartments. So I was doing nothing. It was a lot of them too. People are stupid. But anyway, the issue for most of them was just where it went. It's their rivalry. So there's no one in that division likes the Cowboys, right? But
no one in the NFL likes the Cowboys.
And that's only because of the America's team mantra that most people in the NFL don't like them. But it's just that division. That division has the only 2 divisions in football that rival those divisions as far as hatred for every team in that division
AFC North.
is the AFC North and the AFC East. Those are the only two conferences that really, like, no matter what it is, it's a dog fight when they fight each other, right? There's some times when people
I think you say that for the NFC North too.
maybe it's getting back to that rivalry, but it's not like where it used to be. It used to, well, I mean, when you got Justin Fields as your quarterback in Chicago, and you got the Lions, who are just coming back to being a competitive team, it was really a 2-horse team in that division, and Green Bay pretty much dominated. So it wasn't really nothing. Minnesota was good, but when Kirk Cousins is the Dak Prescott of the NFC North. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really a.
He's in the NFC South now.
Well, then he'll be the Dak Prescott of NFC South. It's just the same thing. It's just, he's not going to change. Just because you change uniforms don't mean you change play. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has weapons there, but did he not have weapons in Minnesota? So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when you look at rivalries, right? This is as bad as if Jordan would have left Chicago and went to the Knicks.
Yeah, for me, it's all
Just
about.
think of that.
It's for me. I get where you're going, but from
that's all I'm saying.
What
Like,
I'm
he
saying
showed too much
is,
passion. Dead is
I get the passion. I get the passion, but there's a point in time where you don't disrespect the player when the player was disrespected by the organization.
I don't think it was really. I don't think the intent was.
I think it was.
I don't think the intent was disrespect. I think the intent was
whether it was
I
or
think
not.
it was
What it was.
rivalry. I think it was mostly the rivalry. I don't think that he came in there and said the whole thing about respect. And I think he mentioned on the show. I don't know why I can't think. Rich Eisen. Dang. No, not Rich Eisen. It wasn't Rich Eisen. What's his name, man? Dan. I can't think of his last name. But he was on his show, and he said the same thing on there about respecting Saquon as a player and everything about him. After Saquon said don't smile on his face. Well, Tiki Barber smiles in everybody's face. That's just what he does, right? It's actually a little creepy how much he smiles in people's faces most of the time, right? So, but that's just what he does. So I mean, it was a cute comeback. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't him. He ain't got no show. Nobody giving him a show.
Never know.
By giving him a radio show. He's a pretty boy that belongs on TV. That's what Dan Orlovsky is. Belongs on TV. He has a face for TV, not for radio. He don't have a voice.
Dan Lee.
Nah, I can't. No, it wasn't him. It was the Patrick. That's his name. I think it's the Dan Patrick show. That's what it was. So he was on the Dan Patrick show, and he pretty much said on there, hey, look, it was the passion of being a giant. Once a giant, always a giant. When I respect for him, it was just going to that team, and he said he meant no disrespect by it. So he didn't mean it. Like, it was just the passion of it going on. Like, there's the same passion you show every time the 49ers go to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? The same passion you go. Right, but it was just that's what I think, Carl. If this would have came from somebody else, let's say Michael Strahan would have said it, would anybody be looking at it that way? Right? No, they wouldn't be saying it that way, because that he's probably the ultimate giant besides LT.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If LT would have said that, would anybody be saying the same thing? No, it's just the messenger.
Yeah, you're right.
He's just the person that said it. And Tiki Barber was the wrong person to say it.
Yeah.
Right message. Probably the wrong person to say it, like Carl said.
Maybe. Well, either way, Tiki Barber, you get the call. Welcome to the doghouse. Yeah, you in the doghouse.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and put a choke chain on him and pull him out.
So now we move to New York. one of the most famous franchises in basketball. They play in the Garden. Everybody knows what you mean when you say the Garden. I'm talking about the one, the only New York Knicks. Now, I get it. I get it. They blew out the 76ers last night. I saw it. And I know OG Anunoby was out for a few of these games. However, still, right, Teddy, the Mecca. Still, what happened is still crazy. So, we all know that they started a podcast. Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson called The Roommates Show. It's on YouTube. If you have not seen it, make sure you go check it out. I do like the show. It is a nice show. However, since the podcast started, they've had a losing record as a team. So you guys want to know what that record is? Well, let's say they started off 1-5. Since then, they've been 6-5 since they started off 1-5. So they've improved a little bit. I do understand that. But let me tell you some of the teams that they lost to during this stretch. The Lakers, who are in the play-in right now. The Mavericks, who are also in the play-in. Pacers, this is the number one scoring team in the NBA right now, so I'm not too surprised about that. The Rockets, one of the worst teams in the West. The Magic has improved, so a really good Magic team. Celtics are a really good team. Pelicans, good team. The Warriors, play in. Hawks, play in. And the 76ers without Joel Embiid. They have been 7-10 since the podcast started. Now, this is not a team I believe is going to be here for long because OG Anunoby is back, and I believe they're going to get back to their winning ways, even with Julius Randle not being back just yet. But I think this team, the timing may seem off, but this has been brewing for a little bit while. I just, they slipped my mind about me putting them on them in previous episodes. So I'm talking about them now. More than likely, they'll be gone by next week. I just feel like I have to talk about what's been going on with this team. Like I said, the podcast has been really good. It's just they have not been winning the entire time. And that's all. The Knicks are, to me, a good team, and they are top 5, top 6 in the East right now. Number 4. So I get it. I'm already certain that I'm going to get some flack when it comes to this. But this is just what I've known. They weren't that good after the podcast started. This is what they said. They said it themselves. 1-5 since the podcast. 7-10 now. I believe that they're going to surpass this and get better, but I just had to talk about it. So, Knicks, this is why you're in the doghouse. Tony, what's your thoughts?
I want to pass on this one. No, I'm joking. It's the Knicks. I got to talk about them. I hate the Knicks. I hate them with a passion. However, I would say this right here. Give them a slight pass, right? I know why you're right. They should be in the doghouse. They were like 5-7 in their last 12 games or something like that. Then, but Brunson's been hurt, and they're kind of getting people back. I don't think it's going to matter. Now, this was what it's not so much as these two guys coming back, right? Right. It's it's not so much about them guys coming back, right? Right. I'm not so it's whether or not the people, the players around them were able to grow up in their absence. That's going to determine where the Knicks are going to be at. Because they can win without Julius Randle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They can win without Julius Randle. But the problem is who's going to take that slack? Who's going to fill that role? And that's where it's going to be. Right? That's what's going to be with that team. They may, and I think they're going to slip a little bit more. They still got to get continuity, so they're going to slip a little more. I don't see them going any further down than fifth. I see Orlando probably, depending on how Orlando's going to play, because Orlando's been playing, hasn't been consistent for a while. Shout out to the Pacers for beating them. Well,
the Magic were like 9-1 since the All-Star break, so they've been pretty consistent.
They've had some games where I figured they've laid down and should have won, but no, they're not. They lost a couple games now, but
maybe 9 and maybe 10-3 now, but
something like that. Yeah, but the thing is it's going to, the Knicks are going to go as far as Jalen Brunson takes them. That's just clearly what's going to happen. It's going to be as far as Jalen Brunson takes them. So we got to just see how it turns out. I don't know about them being in a doghouse, just because of the injuries. They've been a depleted team, right? Now, I will say that they probably should have concentrated more on basketball than a podcast, but I don't think that hampered their play on the floor. It's just the fact that
I just think they've been losing. So I said I just think they've been losing. It's not more so about the podcast. I just wanted to mention it.
Yeah, but they're losing is, because of the injuries. When you lose your top three, your top three's not on the floor. Unless you have people that join it. Now, like the other night, I was watching and I saw in the first quarter, Hart had 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists or something like that. Right? That's good. You see he's stepping up, and playing. I think it was last night against the 76ers, I believe. And I saw that, I didn't watch the game because, well, it's the Knicks. I'm not watching them. But, what I'm saying? It was just, if you just look at their depleted bench. Now, here's the one thing I know, right? I think their injuries is actually a plus for them.
A plus?
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
Here's why I say that is a plus for them. Although they do have those injuries and stuff like that, the players that they need to be fresh will be fresh because Tom Thibodeau won't run them into the ground before playoff time. So those key players won't be tired and won't be able to play because that's pretty much how they lost last. They lost in the playoffs. They were just dead. They had no legs. It's because Thibodeau runs them into the ground. It's just true. So it may be a plus for them, to have these injuries, have players that they're able to step up, right? Step up and play better because they know they had to play without them and learn how to play without them. And then when you add them back in the mix, it may actually be a plus one. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm going to watch them. Actually, Dan, as you mentioned them, I'm going to watch them over the next 10 games. I'm actually going to check out some games and check out some highlights with them. And then, after that, let's revisit this right here with the Knicks and see whether they're in the doghouse at that point in time. Let's give them a few games to get themselves back together.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to get out. I don't think they'll be in here.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
They
could be 2-8 the next 10 games, and you'd be like, "What happened?"
That's true. They could be.
So
they could be. It's just I expect them to play a little bit. Like I said, OG is back. They pretty much play better when he's on the floor. I think they're 13-2 since he's been on the team. So that team they play better when he's there. So I'm expecting them to be better. Like I said, the timing just seems off because they just blew out the 76ers by 30 last night. So I get it, but for me, it was more so about it was more so about their consistency. And yes, they have had injuries, but I still think even with the injuries, they should have been able to beat a few of these teams.
Yeah, I can see a few of those teams they should have beaten, but you know, and it's hard to beat. So, like you said, it's most of the games. Some of the games they lost to teams when they were playing with their superstar in the Garden, and you know everybody shows up to play in the Garden. Everybody wants to get in Spike Lee's face. Everyone wants to do it. Every star wants to get in his face. So Curry came out and shot the way he shot in that game because he was in the Garden and what was going on? Spike Lee was there. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's just what happens. It's the same thing that Reggie Miller used to do there. Same thing Jordan used to do there. You know what I'm saying? They want to show off at the Garden.
Bron, Melo, D-Wade, Kobe.
Can I break the record? Can I break the scoring record at the Garden? Everybody was choking.
At the Mecca.
So I give them a slight pass. I do think they should have played better. I do think it's more so coaching, but you know, and adapting. So, but I think the injuries may actually bode well for them because Brunson's not going to be as tired as he was.
Well, we will see. New York Knicks, you are in the doghouse, but I'm not expecting you to be here long. You're actually one of the few that I put in that I expect you to come out pretty soon. Pause. I know somebody watching this is going to say something about me saying that, but yeah.
I don't know about the next team.
Yeah, I don't know either. But Knicks,
I like this one. Move on to let's go to the next one.
Knicks, welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. Okay. This team was actually mentioned during the show today. If you were paying attention, then you may know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm going to name some players that play for this team, and it should be very easy for you to know who I'm talking about. Charles Haley, Deion Sanders, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Tavon Austin, T.O., Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott.
I noticed that you named Michael Irvin and all the players, and like you just skipped right over Troy, huh?
Troy Aikman, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Tony Romo.
Get right over Troy.
Dante Fowler, you know, DeMarcus Ware. You know, Roy Williams. These are all Cowboy names. So, yes, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Why, David, are you putting America's team in the doghouse? Well, other than today, can someone tell me a move that the Cowboys have made since the offseason started? Yes, they got Eric Kendricks. Yes. I understand that. And he's in a system that he knows well because he used to play for Mike Zimmer when Mike Zimmer was in Minnesota. So it's a system that he knows well. And he's actually played really good these last few years. He had 117 tackles last season. So this is a good pickup to me. But weren't the Cowboys in conversation to get Derrick Henry? Where did he go? Baltimore. Weren't they trying to get Saquon Barkley? Oh, he went to Philly. Weren't they talking about getting Aaron Jones? Oh, he went to Minnesota. They were thinking about trading for Joe Mixon. Oh, he's in Texas. Who are they going to sign? Oh, that's also right. Tony Pollard is gone. He went to Tennessee. What is going on? Carl, man, that is funny. That is hilarious. And I know exactly what you're
Mm.
talking about.
Mm.
If y'all didn't see the tweet
Mm-hmm.
from Skip Bayless, just go to his page. I'm pretty sure he didn't
I
delete it.
saw it. It was hilarious.
I'm
This
almost
is
certain he
hilarious.
didn't delete it.
He never does. He probably don't even know how to.
He probably doesn't.
He's probably hitting escape on the escape.
What did Jerry Jones say after the season started? After the season ended? We're going all in. Well, where is he going all in to?
Didn't he say
We
that
know
last year, but a different variation of it last year
exactly. Exactly.
and the year before that?
The Cowboys have not done anything to move the needle. Yes, they're coming off a season where they won the division. They were the number 2 seed in the NFC. But then the playoffs came and they got smoked by the Green Bay Packers at home.
They got bounced more than Tigger got bounces around on TV trying to find honey.
Cowboys, man, I happened to be on one of the Twitter spaces, well, X spaces now. And some fans, sounded a little salty about the Saquon move. Say they don't think it's a good move for Saquon, that they feel like the Eagles gave him too much money. Yeah, they say they feel like that was a bad deal. And then some of the delusion came in. They're thinking that they maybe do something really good in the draft. Well, what did they do in the draft last year that was good? So we don't know. I guess they're hoping that Mozzie is going to be good, and the other guy, the other rookie that was injured most of last year. Deron Bland had a good season last year, but then he pretty much got cooked after that. After he had those historic pick sixes, which are still good in a sense. But you do get Trayvon Diggs back next year, so you get your best corner to come back next year. I think that'll help you out. You got Eric Kendricks to help out with the run game. Micah Parsons is still there. He just better hope he shows up after November. Cowboys is just having an awful offseason. I think they're the only team, other than this, before they made the sign with Eric Kendricks. They were the only team in the NFL to not do anything. The only team. Tony, your thoughts?
Apparently they didn't know that the NFL year started already. Apparently they're still in the Bahamas or wherever Jerry took his family at to recuperate from being bounced more than a basketball on the court with the Harlem Globetrotters. And no, in all seriousness, man, they got the opportunity to make if he's available, and I don't know what they're going to do. They still need off the line help, right? They still going to need. I don't know what they're going to do as far as left tackle, and things like that, right? So I know there are some other things that they're looking at into trying to figure out. I'm just going to put my analyst hat on right now for them. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're waiting for. So this could potentially be a line heavy draft. So maybe they're going to try to address it in the draft. They still have some things they can do as far as running back goes, right? Because Blake Corum is still out there. Maybe they're thinking he'll fall, or maybe they'll move up and try to get him. That would be a great addition to that team. Still not going to do too much when you got you have a quarterback whose head is in and out of the game. No homo. So Sorry.
Should have said pause.
But you're right. You're right, Joe. He should have been. But I don't know what's going on with them and why they haven't made many moves. I was looking at, I go in and scan the app looking, and I look at see what all teams have done in there, right? And I see some good moves in there. And I'll shout out to the Patriots making some great moves. I like the stuff they're doing. I feel bad that we missed out on Ridley, but a lot of teams have been doing something. But then you look at the Cowboys, right? And it's just like, Cowboy movies when they're getting ready to show up and have a shootout, and them little hay balls go across the thing right there. That's pretty much the Cowboys. It's just like the little bouncing little hay balls going in. You hear woo-doo-doo. They're missing in action, man. I have no clue what's going on. I don't know what's going on, and I really did expect them to do some things, right? I didn't expect anything major, right? I really didn't expect anything major with them because money wise, for them, it's not really a good thing. So getting a rookie contract, and there's actually some other good running backs in there, right? Yeah, so that's the problem, right? So I think that they're going to probably try to address a lot of this stuff in the draft because rookie contracts are easier to manage. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I can see and make sense of what they're doing. It doesn't make sense to me at all, right? Because there have been some good, even to address the line in free agency would have been a good thing for them, and they haven't done that. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think addressing the offensive line isn't really a big thing for them that they need. I mean, because their offensive line is still pretty good. So,
yeah, but they're losing.
I think what they needed more than likely. I mean, yeah, the left tackle. Yes, you need a left tackle for sure. But I think what they also
especially with that quarterback, you need a solid left tackle.
They need another wide receiver alongside CeeDee Lamb. Because Michael Gallup is he's seeking a trade.
He's probably heading to Carolina,
possibly. And then you have no running back now. Tony Pollard.
They got running backs. They got runners. I don't know if you got a running back, but you got runners.
Yeah.
I mean, they have. So I'm not saying they don't have pieces. They got pieces there, but they're not proven pieces. So we're just judging on what could be. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that Tony Pollard was that great of a running back in his darn self. He was really a backup. He wasn't really a starting running back.
Yeah.
So it's not really like they went with. They could have continued with the 1-2 punch with him and Zeke, and it would have worked out a lot better for them.
That's true.
But the thing is that when your coach says that we're going to start running the ball, and he throws the ball more than the previous offensive coordinator, then you really can't say, like, do they really need a running back if he ain't going to use them?
That's true.
That's true. So you're probably more right when you say they need more receivers because the ones that's out there are going to be tired.
That's true. That's true. Well, Dallas,
America. They probably had another tight end too. If they had another tight end, they'd probably be good.
I think who they got is fine. I think who they have is fine. But Dallas, you got Eric Kendricks, so you got something. You know what Denzel said on the couch with Jamie Foxx. I'm gonna leave here with some. And hey, you got something. It ain't everything, but it's something.
It ain't much.
So, Dallas Cowboys, my heated rival, because I am a 49ers fan. But this is not because of that. This is just because of what your offseason has been. You are one of the newest members to the doghouse. So, welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse.
Hey, think about this. This is making it even worse. The Commanders are outworking them in free agency.
I mean, the Commanders always have a really good offseason. They say most people say the Commanders offseason is their Super Bowl. So,
well, you would say that, but I think the pieces that they're putting on the team right now actually are great. Picking up Austin Eckler.
Just hold on to that. Hold on to that. I got something to say later on in the show. Hold on to that. Now let's go ahead and move on to our very next inductee to the doghouse.
Wait a second.
He did what my brother's doing. Sleep. Just started his boxing career. First fight was against Tyson Fury. Looked like he had a chance to win that fight. In the end, he didn't. Got a second one against Anthony Joshua. Carl, y'all not going to be dogs out there winning 2 straight. It's the Pistons. Come on now. You win 5 straight, then you can do that.
Nah, winning 2 straight as the Pistons is an accomplishment. So I'm sorry. I got to go with Carl with this one here. That's an accomplishment 2 in a row. If they won 3, they just won the NBA championship. I'm just saying they went 3 in a row. That's NBA championship. Consider how they started.
Well, they are the doghouse, so that's good enough for me. They are the doghouse. I'm talking about Carl agrees with you, Tony. So I'm talking about Francis Ngannou, people. Francis Ngannou. First of all, you should have never been ranked after your fight against Tyson Fury. Oh, you didn't know that. You didn't know that. You didn't know that someone had him. They had him ranked as a top 10 heavyweight after his first fight.
Who?
I talked about this. I talked about this on In the Red Corner.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't know who did that, but whoever did that should never judge boxing ever again. But
yeah, they said that. They said Francis Ngannou was a top 10 boxer. He was number 10, but they said he was a top 10 boxer after that.
Okay.
Well, top 10 boxer got put to sleep in the second round by Anthony Joshua. This is why they say MMA shouldn't come to boxing. Name me one MMA fighter that came to boxing and was successful.
So here's what I would say.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
I'll say this right here. Conor McGregor, in my opinion, was successful when he fought Mayweather. He fought a guy who was way more skilled than him, and he lasted. Right now, he went out. I didn't expect him to last that long, right, in the fight, but he still lasted. He survived fighting him, right, and he was like 8th, 9th round, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's and that was because he fought like an MMA fighter instead of a boxer. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that happened, that's the reason why they only is 5 minutes, right? It's like 5 minute rounds, I think, right? So there's a reason why they only do 3 to 5 of them because there's no stamina in it. So I would say he was successful, to last as long as he did. But think about it, what?
And success, I mean wins.
I mean, three rounds. He went 9. That's 27 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So versus 45. So I mean,
yeah, that's true, but
he was successful. I mean,
but also he wasn't in his prime either. So
he wasn't. He didn't win, right? He didn't win, but you got to judge success in a different way. I got something to talk about with this guy right here, but so I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish.
Yeah, so Francis Ngannou got put to sleep. Night went night. And in his second match against Francis and against Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua was pretty much a masterpiece. He just did whatever he wanted in that fight, knocked him down 3 times, and it looked easy every single time. So, and the third one was it. I've never seen somebody go to sleep that fast in a while. And I mean, he said he felt ashamed, but hey, that lets you know that heavyweight boxing is different from heavyweight UFC. You're using a lot more of your body in the UFC and in MMA. You know, you're using your elbows, your knees, your legs, your feet. In boxing, it's just your hands. That's it. That's all you got. That's how
all he
you judge.
using, man.
That's that may be all he used, but it ain't working for him in boxing right now. So, Francis Ngannou, you got knocked out, man. Not looking good. Maybe you should just go back to MMA. So, that's my spew. Tony?
All right. So, my question to you is, did he get knocked out?
Did you not see it?
Oh, I saw it. And I saw it from a different angle. Did he get knocked out?
So you're saying he didn't get knocked out?
I implore everyone to go back and watch the different angles from that fight and tell me if he got knocked out. He was right in the end by saying he should be ashamed of himself. He probably has a career in acting.
So you're saying he acted?
That first punch when in the second round when he got knocked down, that punch didn't land. That's just like that Muhammad Ali Phantom punch when he told the dude get up. Same thing, man. Go back and look at it. He came in and threw it. That punch went right here. Right here. It never hit him. Anthony Joshua threw it. He put his glove up. That punch went right here. And he fell down. I smell dive.
I'm talking about the last.
The last one didn't land that much. That land either. The last one hit him here. Hit him right here. It never hit him in the chin. It looked like it did. It came right here. Hit him right here. Now if he say that, oh man, he hit me near my throat area and it hurt, maybe. But he fought MMA. Does it really hurt like that?
Boxing is different from MMA, but I hear you.
Yeah, he also fought a better fighter also the first fight. I'm just saying that, I don't just looking at some of the stuff and looking at film and watching a lot of things in there, looking at different angles of it. I can tell very well that the very first punch did not land like it looked like it landed.
So I'll agree with you. He did fight the better fighter. I do believe Tyson Fury is better than Anthony Joshua. But also, I'm also saying that, well, you also got to look at it this way. Tyson Fury did not take him serious in that first fight either. Anthony Joshua took him serious in this fight.
No, he did. I think after he got
in the end of the fight, he took him serious.
I think as the fight went on, he started taking him serious. I think in the beginning of the fight, he probably.
I think after he got knocked down is when he started to take him serious. Mm-hmm.
I think he took it serious before then. I think he took it serious for them. It's just the fact that he ended up. Now, here's my thing. I do agree that he should be in the doghouse. I don't disagree with him not being in the doghouse. He should be in the doghouse.
But you're saying he should be in the doghouse for acting. That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he did. He did. He got that money. He got that money. Yeah, I think so, Carl. I don't know if he got scared or what happened with it, but I know that first punch, if you go in there and look at the angles. Go in and look at the angles. I saw this a few days ago and I was watching it. Someone showed it from a different angle. And they showed the camera right behind Anthony Joshua when he threw the punch. When he threw that punch, and when you look at it, you'll see that the punch did not land. It went straight through over his shoulder, and he fell back. And I was like, hold on. And I kept rewinding back and forth. I thought it was me. I implore you guys to go look for it. Go look for the film. I tried. You know what? I couldn't do it because I couldn't post it. For some reason, I was trying to post it on the Boston chat so people can see it, but I couldn't do it on the boxing chat thing on Instagram. I was trying to do it, but I couldn't do it for some reason. But yeah, I don't know, Carl, if the fix was in, but he sure fixed the fight. Now think about this right here. What was Anthony Joshua's career before he fought him?
What do you mean?
What was his career like? Where was his career going?
Oh, it started to go up. He won his last 3 fights before that.
Was it real competition that he fought?
I mean, that's not his fault.
No,
He fought Otto Wallen. The other guy he was supposed to fight got hurt, so he had to fight someone else.
Yeah, and it was also inferior fighters. They was trying to build back up his career, build back up his confidence. Well,
I do know that because after he fought Usyk those 2 times, he was contemplating on retiring. I do remember that.
They trying to build his confidence back up again. You fight this guy right here, and now the hype is low. The hype is
I get where you're going with this.
I knocked out Ngannou. I knocked him out. I'm ready for a big fight. I'm ready for that Tyson Fury fight. He'll never get that fight.
I think he will. Well, Francis Ngannou, I think you need to go back to MMA and just leave boxing career alone.
Real quick, why do you think? What is his name? What is he? Who is the owner for who's the owner for MMA for UFC? What's his name?
Dana White.
Dana White. Did you see what he said about
him? What he said?
Go and look. That what made me suspicious. That's one of the things that made me suspicious when Dana White came out as harsh as he did against him. Because he didn't come out harsh at all, like about him leaving at first. Like he's mad that he didn't sign the contract to come back. But look how harsh Dana White came out on him. Dana White came in and tiki bobbered him.
Well, if he came out and did that, then yeah, Francis Ngannou definitely deserves to be in the doghouse. Welcome to the doghouse, Francis Ngannou. My guy, you in the doghouse. All right, now we're going to take a quick little commercial break. So we will be right back.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me keep on running toes, they gon' take them.
Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah, no time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah, refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah, no time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah, refuse.
And we are back. So now, after we got the dog house out the way, we got to talk about the stars of the week, or as I like to call them, the dogs of the week. First up, we got two-time NBA champion, been to the finals 4 times in his career. He's 2-2 in the finals. Started his career with the Seattle Supersonics, where he got drafted at. Played at University of Texas. They call him the Slim Reaper, Trey 5. He's from the DMV area. He's played with guys like Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Perkins, Serge Ibaka, Steven Adams, he's played with some really good people in OKC. He's played with Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala. Now play with, Chris Paul, Devin Booker. He played with DeAndre Ayton, Bradley Beal.
DeAndre Ayton.
Talking about KD, Kevin Durant. That's who I am talking about right now. Why Kevin Durant, might you ask? Well, Kevin Durant, right now on the season, is averaging 28.5 points, 6.7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, shooting basically 53% from the field. He has been balling these last few games, even in games where his team hasn't won. He's played phenomenal in these games. So I'm just going to go over the last 6 games he's played, because those are the games he played in this month. So his team is 3-3. So I'm not putting the team here. It's just Kevin Durant. So in a 118 and 109 loss to the Houston Rockets, Kevin Durant put up 30 points and 9 rebounds, but he did have 6 turnovers. In the game against OKC, where they lost 118 to 110, he put up 20 points, also had 5 turnovers and 4 rebounds. Then, in the overtime win against the Denver Nuggets, he put up 35 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, and only 2 turnovers. Against the Toronto Raptors, put up 35 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Yeah, 4 turnovers in the game, but they came out with the win. Then against the Boston Celtics, where I believe he's had his best game so far in this stretch, but this was in a loss, where they lost 117 and 107 at home against the Boston Celtics. Kevin Durant put up 45 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists, but he also had 6 turnovers. In the game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, they won 117 to 111. Kevin Durant put up 37 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and only 3 turnovers. Now, in these games, he's averaged about 45% from 3, 54% from the field, and he's 81% from the free throw line in that stretch. In that stretch, he's averaged 33 points, 7 rebounds, about 4 assists, but he's also had about 4 turnovers. So the turnovers is not the good thing. But Kevin Durant has been pretty much playing out of his mind this month. Other than that 20-point game, he's had nothing less than 30 points. Now, it's not resulting to wins, but I'm more so just talking about his play, how it's been as of late. Because I've mentioned guys that have had some losing streaks that have been playing pretty well, like a Luka Doncic, who he was balling for a while, and it wasn't leading to a lot of wins, but he played well. So Kevin Durant is no different. So he's on a team where he's had some of his players in and out of lineup. More so, Bradley Beal hasn't really been there all season. I believe Devin Booker was kind of out for a little while. So he had that going against him, but he's still been playing. He's been playing well pretty much all season. Like I said, 28.5 points averaging right now. And the Suns are, one of the teams fighting for spots in the West in a tough Western Conference. So that's why I'm making Kevin Durant a dog of the week. Tony?
Yeah, so we're just talking about the week. So he's, since your last show. So he's had pretty good. He's only played 3 games there. So I was like, that's not a really good way of judging it, right? Let's go back a couple more games. So I went back 2 games. So I have him averaging 34.4 games, 6.6 rebounds, 4.6 assists, but he's almost averaging about a block a game too, right? So he's playing really, really well. The only thing I wish about, and he's never going to be that type of player. The only thing I wish about him is that he was a more vocal player. You know what I'm saying? And he's never going to be that type of player. He let his game on the floor, act as his leadership role and on the team and things, and in that manner, right? But yeah, he's been balling, right? He's been balling. I mean, they only like 3-2 in those games, right? So they got a little bit of a winning record in the last 5. And they're 3-2, but he's playing now. The question is, what's that going to amount to when the time comes for the playoffs? How's that going to work in the playoffs? And that, I mean, it's fine. You're doing well in the regular season, but they got to start playing some defense. In order for them to win. But I am perfectly fine with you having him as a dog of the week. He has been. I'm surprised. Over the last 10 games, if you're going to look at it, he's really stepped up his game as far as scoring goes. But he's also played pretty good defense. Also, something that he's not known to do. He's KD on offense, and then the Mexican. He's Mexican on defense most of the time. Ole, he's doing that a lot. So. It's the same thing with Luka. But anyway, that's my take of him. I think he should have been a dog of the week already if he hasn't been. But yeah, I'm perfectly fine with Kevin Durant being considered a dog of the week.
Yeah, he's definitely been balling, man. So that's why I had to put him in there, simply because he's been doing it on both ends. He's been playing better defense, and he's just been cooking. I mean, the team hasn't been winning all these games, but hey, can't say it ain't been him. Can't say it ain't been his fault.
It's about the consistency of the players around him too. Booker being consistently playing in the game. The Phantom of the Opera actually being on the floor to play on the floor when they got to play on the floor. I'm sorry, Bradley Beal. Got to be on the floor when they got to play on the floor. So you have a lot of scoring in there, right? I'm not saying the other guys don't play defense, but the 3 of them are not known for being defensive minded. They're known for being scorers. So they're a better version of the Indiana Pacers in the Western Conference. That's basically what they are.
Well, you heard it from the Pacer fan himself. Kevin Durant, welcome. You're now a dog of the week. All right, so now this is the one player that I actually couldn't wait to talk about, because I feel like this young guy has been a scapegoat for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, when you hear scapegoat, you thinking about 2 players, maybe 2. It's only 2 players you can really think of. Maybe 3.
Who's the other one?
Anthony Davis.
Go ahead.
That's the other one. So he started out his career with the Los Angeles Lakers. Then he played for the Brooklyn Nets. He played for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and now he's back in LA. I don't think I want to wait too long to introduce this guy. I'm talking about D'Angelo Russell, people. D-Lo. Yes, I'm talking about D'Angelo Russell. Why am I talking about D'Angelo Russell? Well, let's just say D'Angelo Russell has been a lot more consistent lately than what we are used to seeing when it comes to D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell this month is averaging 22 points a game. Now, he's not known to be a facilitator, so I'm not going to talk about him facilitating because that's not what he does most of the time. He's only shooting 77% from the free throw line this month. He's actually averaging 20 points per game this season. I think it's 18 points per game. Yeah, 18 points per game in the season. 6.2 assists, shooting 47% from the field, and only about 3 rebounds. But in this stretch of games, this is what D'Lo has been doing. So I understand the last game he played, he only had 13 points. But he had 44 points against Minnesota, where he was 9 of 12 from 3, 68% from the field. He only shot one free throw, so he was 100% from the line. Shooting, he was 17 and 25 from the field. He had 44 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists in that game. He had another game in this stretch where they played against OKC, another top team in the West. These are the 2 top teams in the West right now. Well, no, because I think Denver is now number 2. So 2 of the top teams in the West. He was 5 of 11 from 3, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. He was 52% from the field, basically 53% from the field. He had 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Two games where they needed to win, and they won. Now, the 3 other games I didn't mention in this stretch, the 2 other games I didn't mention, he wasn't necessarily good, but he wasn't, terrible. He just wasn't, good. But there was another stretch before that. That's the reason why I also put him in the doghouse. He was a lot more consistent in the month of February. He averaged 20 points that month. These are the points where he averaged. These are the games. I'm going to name all the games and the points he scored in all these games. So first game, 16. Second game, 16. Third, 28. Right after that, he put up 30. Then he put up 21. Then 11. Then 18. Then 22, 20, 18, 22. So he was a lot more consistent in the last month. So he's played a lot better since they kept him. Because there were trade rumors saying that maybe he needed to be gone. They were trying to use him to get maybe DeJounte Murray, but teams didn't want him. So D'Lo said that he used that as fuel, and now he's starting to play a lot better and ball out in games sometimes. So D'Angelo Russell, I feel like you deserve to get some praise, some flowers, because they're always Laker fans are spoiled, but Brown fans are also spoiled as well. So that's usually how it goes. Most of the time when you're with Braun and you don't play consistently, they're going to try to trade you. That's usually what happens. It's not Braun's fault, but that's just what happens in the NBA when it comes to playing with LeBron. But also, it's not just LeBron. It was Darvin Ham as well. Not necessarily, he wasn't consistent with the lineups and stuff like that. He wasn't allowing D'Lo to play his game. D'Lo is a scorer. That's what he's always been known to be. He's not necessarily a facilitator. He can pass the ball. He has the ability, but we all know he's mainly a scorer. So this is what is necessary for him. He's played better, so I decided to feature him as the dog of the week. Tony.
My bad, I couldn't get the mute thing off. So he's been playing pretty well, right? 22 points a game over the last in March. 3.8 rebounds, 4 assists. He's shooting just a tad bit under 50% from the field. So he's playing well, right? But You know, a lot of the things that has been said,
You gotta keep him in that walker. Then you can't.
a lot of things that have been said about him has been warranted.
When you go in there, and
You know what I'm saying?
and you feel
They've been warranted. So you can't really come out there and say that, oh, they're, you know, he's coming back and saying
all it takes.
he's
That's all
playing
it takes.
like the player they thought they had when they drafted him.
Feel that floor right now.
For those of you who are wondering why we're both laughing, we both have a great relationship with the person that we hear in the background. And it's like she's totally oblivious to what's going on.
And you need to tell.
But D-Lo, you know, dog of the week. Welcome to the dogs. D-Lo.
My producer in the background is giving me signals.
That's usually what happens sometimes. So now, Tony, you gonna be you gonna like this one. So we talked about the guy that he fought against being in the doghouse. So now we're putting the other guy as a dog. Anthony Joshua. As I stated earlier, he knocked him out in the second round, but he's also won his last 4 fights. He's on a 4-fight win streak. Now, is it the best competition in the world? Nah, it ain't. It ain't. It ain't the greatest competition. But hey, you fight who is in front of you. It's not his fault that Deontay Wilder lost his fight. Deontay Wilder just lost. That's just what happened. He fought Otto, won that fight very well. Anthony Joshua has just been doing what he needs to do when it comes to these fights. So he was supposed to fight Dillian White, but instead he had to fight Robert Helenius, where he knocked him out in the 7th round. Then December came and he outclassed Otto Wallin. That's a fight I'm missing. Sorry. So last April, my bad. Last April, he fought against Jermaine Franklin, won that fight. Then last August is when he was supposed to fight Dillian White, but he did not. He fought the other guy, won that fight, knocked him out in the 7th round. Then last December, the day of reckoning with all those heavyweight fights that was supposed to happen, along with Deontay Wilder, who lost his fight. You had AJ, who fought Otto Wallin and won that fight. It was stopped in the 5th round. So that means he was winning that fight handily. Then last weekend against Francis Ngannou, dropped him 3 times, and then had a powerhouse knockout in the 2nd round. Right now, it looks like he's ready to continue on his career and maybe possibly have a matchup against Tyson Fury coming up in the future. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to happen, but it's possible. The Deontay Wilder fight is also possible that it might happen as well, but this is something that can definitely go on. So just make sure you pay attention to what Anthony Joshua is doing. Yes, I am putting him as a dog of the week. Tony, are you able to speak on this at the moment?
So I'm gonna try. So here's my thing. Anthony Joshua has, so you know them little inflatable little, little favorite little boxing things that you could hit and people be playing with. That's all the people that he's been fighting the last four fights, bro. Like he hasn't fought anybody. Like I said beforehand, this was just to build his confidence because the guy was ready to retire. You know what I'm saying? And even before then, he really hasn't fought anybody. The Ruiz fight was supposed to be an easy fight for him. He's fighting a short guy, stubby guy, guy got too much of a reach and stuff like that. He's supposed to be able to sit back and jab.
He lost the first one against Ruiz, and then he came back and beat him.
Yeah, because maybe you would call it that, but he still hasn't had like name me that one fighter that he's fought that you can say, oh man, that was a great win because that guy right there was actually great competition. The answer is none. He hasn't really fought anybody. It's just the fact that he's gone on all those. He went on that streak of winning all those fights in a row. That everybody put him where they put him at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's not skilled. I would not say that he's not a skilled fighter. He's a skilled fighter, right? Mm-hmm. But he's not the guy. He hasn't fought competition to enhance that skill. I can't remember his name, but he just got in trouble. He's the one that I believe. Who was it? Who had to talk to him? I think Roy Jones had to talk to him and had to tell him not to quit boxing. I can't remember his name. He just got in trouble for it, but I can't remember the kid's name. But if he fought that kid would probably knock him out. Like 20. No. I think he's from Cincinnati. I think he is, but he would knock Anthony Joshua out. Now, the only reason why I'm against this is because of the footage that I saw. That's the reason why I'm against him being a dog. Now, if it was a legit knockout, then okay, then okay, probably a dog for putting him on his behind like that. Allegedly, putting him on his behind like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's Anthony Joshua has never really impressed me. Even when he fought but think about it, even when he fought an old Klitschko, he really wasn't that impressive. Really wasn't that impressive to me.
Okay, well.
And that's just as a boxing fan. He's a guy that's going to have to rely on his jab, like most heavyweights do. Well, unless your name is Tyson. Exactly. Rely on his jab. Rely on his jab, and stick back on it. He doesn't have a chin. If this was a straightforward fight and he fought and Ngannou fought it the same way he fought Fury, he probably would have knocked him out because he doesn't have a chin.
Said Francis would have knocked him out.
Yep, because he doesn't have a chin. Anthony Joshua doesn't have a chin. You go to his thing and just give him one of those to his chin.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, I don't know if I can agree with that, but we saw what happened. Anthony Joshua, even though my brother agrees, I am putting you as a dog of the week. So
it's your show. It's your show. I'm just here to say.
Oh no. That's why I wanted you on. I know you weren't going to agree with everything. So that's I'm okay with this. But at the end of the day, he's a dog of the week. Keep watching, Cardo. Keep watching. I got something for you. Keep watching. I got something for you.
It's a real dog.
Wow. All right. Now I have someone in college basketball. Whoa, that boy cooking. Okay, DeMar. Okay. So, got something from college basketball that I wanted to talk about. And probably no one will have a clue of who I'm talking about other than you.
Before you go and say anything about this person, I'm not even going to mention the person's name. Before you say anything about this person, this person is always like no one. So I watch a lot of games in the conference, and all year long I was like, "Yo, who is this?" I know the name. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, definitely a dog." But go ahead.
This young lady. I'm going to name the honors and awards she's got. She plays at Columbia. This is an Ivy League school. So this is not even D1. This is an Ivy League school. No, I think it is D1. Oh, not sure. I don't know all of that stuff. Carl knows that. If you want to know that, Carl, go ask Carl. CTC, Carlton College, he knows that for sure. She won the John Wooden Award preseason. She was on the John Wooden Award preseason watch list for this season. She was a top 10 candidate from Ann Myers. She was a semifinalist for the Becky Hammond Award. She played on the Women's USA Basketball American Cup last season. She has the WBCA All-American Honorable Mention. She won the Ivy League Championship last year with this team. She was named the 2023 Becky Hammond Mid-Major Player of the Year Award. Well, she was a semifinalist again last year. A 5-time Ivy League Rookie of the Month, 13 Ivy League Players of the Week. She has also some records in the Ivy League. She has the most three-pointers in a single season with 112. Most three-pointers in the game, which is 9. Most three-pointers in a single season, of course, 112 with Columbia. And most three-pointers in a career, 285. She is a senior for the Columbia Lions. Who might I be talking about? Her name is Abby Asu. Or Hasu. I could be saying the last name wrong. Sue.
Mm-hmm.
Abby Sue. This young lady has a story that not a lot of people know about. So, just a couple years ago, she had tore the anterior cruciate ligament in her right knee near the end of her junior season in high school, which could have been career ending.
Yep.
On that day, she hobbled to the parking lot while others ran from a deadly mass shooting in the high school. It was one of the deadliest. It was the deadliest mass shooting at a high school in history. Then the pandemic cut her freshman year short at Columbia, and shortly after the coach sent everyone home, her father got sick. Her father is Dr. Alex Sue, who became the very first medical professional in Florida to die from COVID. It was 2 days after his youngest daughter's birthday. This young woman, this young lady, Carl, I just wanted to say the entire thing, okay? But just let me say this.
Because I was gonna let it go. It's like, not sure that's what that was, bro. But go ahead.
Hey, don't matter. ACL. On the season, she's averaging 20 points per game, 7.1 assists, 7.1 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 45% from the field. Her team is currently on a 9-game win streak.
Mhm.
They have beaten Pennsylvania by 30. They beat Harvard by 12. Then they beat Dartmouth. They beat Brown University, beat Dartmouth again. They beat number 25 Princeton by 2. Beat Yale by 16, and then just beat another team by almost 40 points. In that game, she only had 13 points. But she's had a game where she had 28, 26, 23, 28, 21, 24. She has been playing lights out for the Columbia Lions. And I believe that even though she has not played up to the point of like a Caitlin Clark or a Juju Watkins, she has balled out for her team in the league that she plays in. And it's a remarkable story. And she's phenomenal. This is a really good young lady, and I think she needs to get some looks. She's a senior, of course, but I think she needs to get some looks in the WNBA. If not, I'm almost certain she's going to be playing overseas somewhere. But she's a really good basketball player, and I wanted to make sure I got on here and gave her some praise. Tony?
She actually declared, but you left out some stuff with her, right? She actually just won Ivy League Player of the Year, and is only the second player from her school to ever win that award. She was unanimous first team selection for the second year in a row. So let's just look at, and it is Division I, right? And just to clear something up for you, it's Dartmouth, but we're gonna
Dartmouth.
we're gonna clear it up for you real quick.
Okay.
But so let's talk about her stuff, her in a sense, right? So she of course led the Ivy League in scoring, right? Led Ivy League in scoring, but if she's in the top 20 in scoring in the NCAA. Of course, everybody knows who number 1 is, but she's top 20, right? There's other categories she ranks in. She's number 11 in 3 points made per game. All right, she's number 29 in total threes, number 40 in 3-point percentage, number 42 in total points, number 50 in total field goals made. She led the Ivy League in all those areas. Every area I just named, she led the Ivy League in. All right.
So you would say she's the Caitlin Clark of the Ivy League?
Yeah, that's what she is, right? So she also ranks 4th in the Ivy League in rebounding. She's number 5 in free throw percentage, number 9 in field goal percentage. She's number 7 in minutes played, top 15 in assists. She blocks, she steals, she does everything, right? She also is a 7-time Ivy League Player of the Week award winner and a 3-time Met Basketball Writers Association Division I Women's Player of the Week this season. Like, she is a baller, right? And like I tell you, I wouldn't call her Kate, because she doesn't have that, because of her injury. She doesn't have that lateral movement like Kate has, and is able to move in certain ways. But she uses a lot of, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I love, and I told David this beforehand, I love watching women's basketball. I love watching it. Like, it's one of the things, as someone that has coached basketball, I love watching it because it shows the beauty of the game, right? How a real pick is supposed to be.
The women's basketball is like the fundamentals of basketball.
The fundamentals of basketball, right? what a real pick looks like, right? What real angles are doing, how to really run an offense. It's like watching Connecticut, right? Not to, it goes as my favorite team, but it's just like watching Connecticut. The reason why Connecticut beats so many teams right now is because Connecticut plays fundamental basketball. That's the only reason why Connecticut wins. If they say run a play, they run that play. It's like watching Princeton. Princeton's going to Princeton then weave. I'm sorry, that Princeton weave. How they run that thing right there. That's pretty much what Connecticut runs. But they run a modified version of it, right? Mm-hmm. But she is just awesome to watch. You know what I'm saying? And the team balls out for her. They set picks for her all the time, and she's always going to be open. And she has perfect form, letting it go. And most of the time, the team don't even wait for the rebound. They just start running down the court, playing defense.
Exactly. It's like they like, oh, she shot it. Yeah, it's good.
They're like, oh, time to play defense.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, she does need some shout out. I think the first time I saw her, I think she was on ESPN, and they showed her out there, and it was just like, Abby, and it was just like, what? I was like, yo, did she miss? Like, I think she went for 30 that game or something like that. But it's just a ball, and her story is a remarkable story. I believe it was the Parkland shooting. I think that she was. I believe that's which one you're referring to, the Parkland massacre that she was a part of. So from tragedy to triumph should be her story, because she is triumph.
Absolutely. Well, Abby, I'm really happy to be able to say that you deserve to be a dog of the week. Just don't be like Joe. Just don't be like Joe and run away when you hear the dog growl next time.
I'm surprised they said that this next person. Well, he should be there, but I'm surprised you got this next person.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Shoot.
You know what? You introduced this one.
The crazy thing is the fact that this is just not just because of where he plays right now, is where he came from. Mm-hmm. The school that I don't even think you like that team at all either. You know what school he came from?
Go ahead and tell me.
He came from Notre Dame. He's a transfer from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, he really put this guy up here. He really put this guy up here. Yeah. Hey, look, this guy right here had the game of a lifetime last Saturday night. Like, if he said, if ever, now here's the thing. He's been one of four players for his team. He's the fourth player. I think there are three other players that have been named Player of the Week, along with him from his school. You guys know the school. They have a lot of different players that have come from there. The most famous person is considered the
greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time that ever picked up this game. But the other people that have been there, Kenny Smith,
Vince Carter,
James Worthy, and Antonio Jameson has been there. You've had some really good players there. But this young man has just been lights out all year long. Hey, you want to pull up the guy?
Cormac
Ryan, man, ACC Player of the Week, right? He had what was it, 31 points against the other team in blue.
Yeah.
But in reality, he there hasn't been many transfers for other teams that have made impact on other teams. All right. we have a great running.
Other than Caleb Love at Arizona, he's made a really good impact there.
Yeah, I mean, you can think of him. You can think of our guy, that's and in UConn. You can think of him as far as a shooter, but the one thing about him is, and that's what I was getting to, Carl. He's been playing better now, but as the season has gone on, there's been some inconsistencies in his play. Right. Hence the reason why there's been three other players from his team that have been ACC Player of the Week. Right. Just because the inconsistency with the play. However, I will tell you that when he's on, he's on. He's not going to miss. No.
Hey, Carl.
Well, Tristan Newton was a transfer last year, not this year. So I wouldn't count him in as if you would say that about him from last year, I would agree with you, Carl. But I'm talking about Cam Spencer. Cam Spencer, actually, if Mo knew that, you wouldn't know it, with them having the record they had. But Cam Spencer is actually the leading scorer for the UConn Huskies. No one realizes that, but if you go look at it, Tristan Newton is definitely the leader of the team. But that team is so loaded that any one of them could be the leading scorer that night. Tristan Newton is just the floor general that makes it all go. But he is definitely Carmack is definitely been a great addition to that Carolina team. Right. And if you look at him, right, because he's a pretty silly guy, right? As far as his, you look at some of his interviews, you realize he has a knack for sense of humor. He has a really good sense of humor, right? And I think that has brought, because that North Carolina team was real tight last year, right? They play a little loose right now, No. I was talking about transfers like this year transfers. So Cam transferred in this year. So, and just like, he's a transfer in. I think he transferred in this year, right? Or was he there last year?
No, I think he transferred in this year.
He transferred in this year. Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's what I meant when I was talking about it. It's like some, these transfers have been hit or miss, but these guys right here have him and Cam and the other guy you were just talking about. They've been hit on right on as far as fitting in with those teams. So this guy is definitely a dog. I'm really waiting to see what he does in the tournament. Right,
yeah.
Not ACC, but what he does in the tournament. Will he turn into a real dog and put the team on his back, which he's very much capable of?
It's definitely capable.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to say much. My brother said it all. Cormac Ryan put up 31 points against Duke. He was, I think it was 6 of 8 from 3. 9 of 12 from the field. The boy just cooked us. There was nothing we could do to stop him. It was like every time he shot a 3, you just knew it was going in. He just did not. He had no care for Duke life. I'm not gonna say human life. He had no care for Duke life that night. And I mean that team overall just out hustled Duke, outplayed. It seemed like we were out coached. Not to say that. Not to say that he didn't coach well, but what I'm saying is he coached a little bit better. That's what I'm saying. When I'm saying out coach in this aspect, I'm not saying that out coach John Shire didn't coach good at all in this game.
Let me interject here real quick. So on that coaching thing, I don't think he got out coached as much as the players got outworked in the first half, especially in the first half.
Definitely in the first half. We were getting cooked.
They got outworked in the first half.
Yeah,
right?
we definitely did.
But
We
they
got
didn't I don't think he got out coached. I think he was telling them the right things when they were going to the huddle and stuff like that, telling them the right things. But I don't
yeah,
think that the execution was way off.
yeah. Execution was definitely way off. I mean, was it Kyle Filipowski didn't really get hot until the second half. Same thing with some of the other guys. It was just, I mean, yeah, exactly. That remember, Carl, when we were talking about the game, I said it. They just out hustled us. They just outplayed us the entire game. Like we had an opportunity, even when we got close, I think it was like 45-44. We had a chance to take the lead. And it's just we got the momentum snatched right from us right after that. I'm like, come on, man. We had the opportunity. They were going out to lose going out to lose balls all the time. Pause. I know Tom will go say something about that. It's just I don't know, man. They wanted it more. They wanted to win that game a lot more than Duke did. And Cormac Ryan was, to me, the best player on the floor that night. He just balled out and made Duke look silly. And now that I know he transferred from Notre Dame, I really don't like him now because he came from Notre Dame and he went to two schools I cannot stand. Well, Cormac, even though I don't like the fact that you play for UNC, I can't not give you praise for this. Wow. I generally, yeah, Carl, I didn't know that. I did not. Or maybe I knew and I forgot, but I don't recall right now.
He was balling. He shot well there too. That's why he was actually. I think a lot of teams were actually trying to get him to
It's
come
possible.
to their team.
I just
So,
it's not recollecting my mind right now.
so here's what I'll say, and we can move on after this. What I watched once, and I really didn't watch it because I was in and out. I was too busy watching UConn play Providence. But what I watched was two consistently inconsistent teams become consistent at times during the game. It was just like North Carolina became more consistent at times when you needed them to be inconsistent. Duke needed them to be inconsistent because their consistency in turnovers and things like that were killing them. And that's what was going on.
It was that. It was bad shots. It was just a lot, man.
So they were bad shots, but they were necessary shots, and they weren't trying to rebound.
Some were I agree. Some were very necessary because of the situation. I still believe some of those shots, even with the good opportunity, were bad shots because they were just like, come on, like what are you doing?
I don't disagree with that, but
Kyle Filipowski, I just feel like he wasn't aggressive. There were times where he was where UNC had ran a zone and he had got the ball in the middle and he was open. He wouldn't take the shot. I'm like, dude, shoot. Like,
but hasn't that been the consistency of Duke all year long?
No. There are games where we've played very well and very intense, and he played well throughout the entire game, not just played okayish in the first half and then just balled out in the second half.
Yeah, but
there's been games
talent on the floor with him. Like, so here's what I mean. When there's superior talent on the other team, does Duke consistently play up to that talent? The answer is no. Neither is North Carolina. It's only when they play each other.
I'm not gonna say no, but
it's only when they play each other. Just be real. It's only when they play each other is when they play like that. They hate each other.
Yeah.
It's just that night North Carolina hated you guys a little more.
Yeah, whatever. So Cormac Ryan, you are the dog of the week.
I'm gonna Can I answer this question from Carl?
Yeah.
All right, so I have no problem with him being that way. I just think he's not as consistent of a player, and I think he plays out of control. As far as how he plays, he's going to have to play like that anyway with the injury. But yeah, I don't know. You know, the play of most people in there has been yeah. So I don't know. So so Carter's actually I like him. He plays just like his dad. You know, plays just like his dad. If you look at his shot, he shoots just like his father too, which is actually funny. But anyway, we talking about what I was telling you, Anthony Carter's son.
Yeah. Well, we are down to our last doghouse member.
Little Brett Butler.
And it's another transfer. Another transfer that we're talking about. Plays for the University of Tennessee. To me, he's been the best player in college basketball all year. He had a game recently where he put up 40 points. 40. And you've seen his name in the comment section. But now you get to see his face.
Mhm.
Yes, Carl. Dalton Net. It's about time that I finally talk about this young man. Dalton Net has been shooting the lights out this year. He can do it all on the floor. He can shoot from three. He has a good mid range. He has a good post game. He can drive. He can pull up. It doesn't matter what you say about this kid. He can do anything. Transfer from North Colorado. Thank you, Carl, for helping out. This young man, if it wasn't for the two guys in overseas, I think he would more than likely be the number one overall pick next year. If I don't know if he declared for the draft or not, but I think he would be number one. Because I don't see how you stop him. Someone tell me the game plan to be able to stop him. Because I don't see it. Now, Tennessee as a team is not, all worldly great, but they are still a really good team. Relax.
You do know they're ranked as high as fifth,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I know.
Oh, okay. All right.
Relax. I'm saying that they're not number one. That's what I'm saying when I say that.
They can't be Connecticut. Yeah, you're right.
Wow. But Tennessee is great. Carl, relax. I wasn't serious when I said that. Relax. Tennessee has been balling this year, man. They just won the SEC tournament. Yes, I know. Dalton is clearly the best player on the team. I don't know if anyone had Tennessee winning the SEC this year. I think some people may have thought maybe Alabama would because they played good last year. But then again, Brandon Miller's not there anymore. He's gone. He's in the league. So this SEC could have gone anywhere. Some people thought maybe Kentucky was going to come back and win it, but that did not happen. So we see who's there. It's the regular season. Okay. So Tony, what you got to say about him, man? Because he honestly has me speechless from just how great he's played this year.
I want to give like one name out, and I want if Carl would agree with me. He is a more talented, probably a little bit more talented Brent Berry.
Brent Berry.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Brent Berry, especially when Brent was at Oregon State. That's what he reminds me of. Now he doesn't. Now Brent didn't go as hard as this guy goes. This guy right here has no fear. He goes to the hole, and he goes to the hole with reckless abandonment. He goes to the hole and he says, "I'm going to dunk, and if you're in the way, I'm going to dunk on you." I've never seen. I'm not saying that he's just like that. I say he reminds me of him. Of him.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. I think he is smoke Brent Berry too.
He would. He definitely would. I'm just talking about what I think he would. He reminds me of as a player. Or if I had to go even harder at it, I would say that he reminds me of a Dan Marley when he was named, when they called him Thunder Dan. Dan Marley used to go and dunk on me.
Yeah, Thunder Dan.
That's what he reminds me of.
You know, I know who Dan Marley is.
Now, most people remember Dan Marley when he was with the Suns and he used to, shoot and stuff like that. And when he came in there and they talked trash about him, and Jordan came out and dropped 40 on him that night or something, 40, 45, I can't remember what it was. But at one point in time, he was called Thunder Dan. And the reason he was called Thunder Dan is because he would dunk on you and would not care and would talk trash. He was like, he was and more athletic Larry Bird. That's who Dan Marley was. But anyway, yeah, this kid right here, like we were talking about him before here. I don't know where
Yeah, we were, but oh my
like,
god!
who in the hell is this? I was like, who is this dude? He was like, who's the guy?
Me and you both was like, who is this? He is cooking.
My man came in and gave the dude a hezzy and blew right by and left dude right there. The dude was still at the 3-point line. He was going through the whole dunking. And I was like, who is dude? I said, who is this? Because I ain't really, like I said, I really haven't paid attention to Tennessee or anything like that. I've been paying attention to, teams that matter, Arizona, us, teams that matter, right? Notice I didn't say Purdue because Purdue doesn't matter. Like I told you, they're the Dallas Cowboys of the NCAA.
Yeah, I mean, Carl agrees. I agree with that too.
So. Listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Look, speaking of that Purdue game, the referees definitely gave them the game on Sunday versus Wisconsin. Because Wisconsin was down by, I think, 10 at half. And every time they knocked it down to like 3 or 2, all of a sudden there was all these phantom fouls. There was these picks that Purdue was able to do. They were getting their team open. There was these jumping over the back and throwing the ball out to people sitting at the 3-point line waiting on themselves, and they would hit shots. I don't think that's not going to happen in the tournament.
I'll have to go back.
Second round. Purdue's gone. Second round. But anywho, who are you talking about this guy?
I'll say they're gone. I'll say they're gone in the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. They'll be watching the Sweet 16 just like every other NCAA fan from the stands.
I'm waiting for the bracket because that comes out on Sunday, so I'll wait for that. But
you already know your top 4, your 4 seeds, so top seeds. So
yeah, I know that
they're gonna blow by.
Purdue. It's gonna be Purdue,
Arizona,
Houston, and y'all. Well, no, not Houston. Yeah,
Houston, and it's only because so those teams don't even have to win their. Maybe Houston, right? But no, Arizona probably has to win too, right? But if they make it to the championship game, if all 4 of those teams make it to the championship game, they're locked at 1.
That's true.
They only have to win a championship, their conference championship. If they make it to the championship game, they're locked at 1.
That's true. Darnett, welcome to the Dogs of the Week. Can't wait to see what you do in the NBA. Well, I hope. Well, I don't think this will happen, but I hope
Yeah,
so.
I don't think he has any more eligibility, so I think he is out.
Yeah, so I will say I would hope to see you in a Miami Heat uniform, but I doubt that happens. But welcome to the Dogs. Glad to see you here. Well, Carl, tune in next week. Tune in next week, my guy. I got something special for you. Now, that is the final dog of the week. But we have some honorable mentions. I have one that I wanted to talk about. Now, NFL free agency has started officially today at 4:00, but the tampering period started Monday. So legal tampering started on Monday.
Make sure you make that clear.
Yeah, legal tampering. Anything before Monday is not legal tampering. Philadelphia Eagles. So we have a lot of teams in this offseason that have made some really good moves. The Patriots have made good moves. You could talk about the 49ers made good moves. The Ravens made a good thing. They went and got Derrick Henry. Good move. Tennessee Titans seems to be like they're making some moves around to try to get some players. They might be trying to get Justin Simmons. Who knows? Then you got the Dolphins, who looked like they were really bad at first, and then started to make up for that. The Seahawks have made a lot of good moves. The Rams are starting to show up that offensive line. You got the Eagles that went and got Saquon Barkley and a couple others. They got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, a guy that helped that defense out in the back end. I can go on and on about teams that made splashes. The Jaguars made a splash today by getting, but the Titans made a splash today by getting Calvin Ridley. Now, I know when I say this name, a lot of people are going to say it's the offseason and this team is always winning in the offseason. But this feels a little different with this team. And it's the Washington Commanders. The reason why I'm putting them as an honorable mention is because they haven't made like huge splashes to spend a lot of money. The biggest thing that they did was just fill a lot of depth pieces and a lot of holes that they needed. They got a tight end. They went and signed Zach Ertz. That was the first move that they did. They now have Bobby Wagner on a 1-year deal, which is huge because he's a leader, and we know he's still one of the best linebackers in the league. That is huge. And also who they have in the front office. Adam Peters. His first year running everything, being the guy in the front office, being the GM, not the assistant GM, but being the GM, has made a lot of moves, and the Commanders still have about $70 million to spend. They've signed at least 12 players in this offseason, and they still have about 65 to $70 million to spend. And they have a high draft pick. They went and got a head coach who's been in this league for a while, Dan Quinn. He went to the Super Bowl. They didn't win, of course, because they played against the Patriots 28-3. But I feel like this team is making all the right moves. They're not just trying to make big splashes and just sign players to huge contracts. They're just filling in all the pieces that they need so they can have some debt. Re-signing players. Jamison Crowder is coming back to the Commanders as well. He's always been a pretty solid piece for them. But I just feel like they should be an honorable mention. So the Commanders are an honorable mention for this week for me. Tony, who was yours?
I agree with you with them. First of all, I think that they have had an awesome off season. Here, listen, this guy right here. Shoot, it's even crazy that I can't even remember what his name is.
Don't worry, I got
But
you. Keep going.
this guy right here is probably the greatest ever. I know his name. I got it now because I was like, it was somebody I know. I got to think of his name. It kind of rhymes with somebody. His name rhymes with the coach that we know. But anyway, so listen. His first name is the same as a coach, and his last name rhymes with his name. Anyway, this guy here should his cell phone. He should probably have his cell phone on do not disturb right now for all the players that should be calling him right now, because I have no clue what he says or how he does this. But listen, Mike McCartney. You guys know that guy's name? Probably don't. You should. You don't know what his name is, but you should. He is the agent for one Mr. Captain Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
These deals that he gets for Kirk Cousins
are phenomenal.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know where he go. Do you guys know in the first 2 years of that contract that Kirk Cousins is going to make $100 million? The first 2 years. Do you know that all his contracts with the Minnesota Vikings were all guaranteed money?
Fully guaranteed.
All fully guaranteed money. We're talking about a guy who tore his Achilles tendon last year. Got $100 million in the first 2 years.
Well, $100 million is guaranteed.
Guaranteed. And the guy only has one playoff win. Dak has more than him.
He got one playoff win in 12 years in the league. Y'all probably didn't realize he's been in the league for 12 years. He is 35 years old. Kirk is 35 years old and just got a $150 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons, and $90 million is just a signing bonus.
Hey, my man is turned into the new Jerry Maguire. Like this dude gets all the deals. Like I'm sorry. Look, I'm trying to keep myself calm and not saying what I want to say, but I'm pretty sure when he was in college, there was a lot of noise coming from his dorm room, because I'm pretty sure he was able to lure all the girls in there. Because don't nobody talk that sweet. My man is out there pimping every team. He pimped Minnesota. He pimped Washington. And now he's pimping Atlanta. Now, make sure you pimp the right people down in Atlanta, because it is Atlanta. But he's pimping Atlanta. Yo, that is crazy. That was great. I know he was when I was in high school. Bruh. Well, that makes sense now. Makes sense considering the coaches y'all had there. But anywho.
There you go.
No, seriously. But no, in all seriousness, think about that, guys. Think about the things that he got this guy. We're talking about Kirk Cousins. No wonder New England didn't go out to sign him, because New England ain't fall in with that.
They was like, who?
No. You were what? Peace, bro.
Like, we got money, but we ain't stupid.
Everybody spend it on you. Who else is coming there? But no, in all seriousness, man, that's my dog, bro. Yes.
Hey, Tony said it, not me.
Okay, you're right. But hey, a lot of things going on that Michigan State basketball team too. But anyway,
it's up. But
But no, in all seriousness though, that dude should, if they gave out an award for agent of the century,
he should get it automatically. He should get it. He should get it. He should
that
get
guy right
it.
there. That guy
Well,
right there. Put just those 3 contracts.
those are our honorable mentions. That is the show for today. So thank you all for tuning in. And we will see y'all next time. Peace. Thank you for watching all the way through and tuning all the way into the end. Thank you for enjoying Dave's Doghouse. I hope you had a great show. Make sure you like this video and hit the notification button so you get an alert whenever I go live again or have another video and another episode. And also, last but not least, hit that share button. If you enjoyed this and you think someone else will enjoy it, share it. And also, thank you again for tuning into this episode, and I'll see you next time.